Yeah, I'm not a big fan of DJ Khaled. Only because he never...
Because he's a meme?
No, he just never reinvents himself. He could be a meme, but he's the same meme every time.
Yeah. I mean, the meme is just evolved. Because...
Do you follow him on Snapchat? I followed him for a bit, and it was just look at the angels, him on an elliptical.
But that's just funny. A fat guy working out. It's always going to be funny.
Major key alert.
Major key alerts that only apply to like rich people.
Right.
Always wash your Lamborghini rims. Always have your servant wash your Lamborghini rims. Major key.
I mean, you're right. He hasn't evolved, but I think now we've gotten to a point where I feel like there's a time and a place for all that stuff. So, I mean, if I'm just driving around, I got the keys. Can't beat that. I got keys.
What's that?
That's Future, Jay-Z, and DJ Khaled's on the new album. So, although it's not the best Jay-Z song, definitely not. The verses aren't. I mean, they're not that great. I don't know.
I liked him better when he was beating Novocaine.
Yeah, that's so funny.
If you don't know who Beat Novocaine is, Google it.
Yeah. Novocaine.
And then they moved to Miami.
Then they all just became different people. It's so funny that they transplanted from New York, and like Fat Joe's a different guy. That whole Terror Squad is different. They're all different dudes.
Pitbull goes, welcome.
Even him, he was a different rapper too.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
He was freaking good as hell.
I don't know. Maybe we don't know nothing about that Miami life. Maybe it'll turn you.
They all got old.
That's true.
Yeah.
It helps to be old, and it helps to be rich. It's he just signed.
Helps to just throw money at a song until it starts selling.
Right. I mean, what does he actually do at this point? I mean, at least when he was beating Novocaine, he was actually making the beats, and there was a point to him being there.
Yeah.
But now he's just kind of like
a hype man.
Yeah. I guess just that's all it takes. I mean, he still produces though, right? I don't think so.
Not at all?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure all of that stuff is like these new cats like DJ Mustard and like Metro and all these new dudes.
Yeah. We the best.
True. We're also drinking from the Crooked Can Brewing Company, Mixed Swagger Zone. It's an amber ale. It's about 6 ABV. I mean, that should be all you really need to know. I mean, drink it up. My name's Marco. I got Davey the God.
Yeah.
And I got Adam Obesis Rodriguez.
My rap name changes
too.
Like
that. I think that stuck from last episode, yeah.
That is, refer to me as that. If I could change my Snapchat, I would.
Why can't you?
No, you just can't. Can you change your Snapchat name?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, like your actual, like, what people use to find you.
Yeah.
You can
because Nicole was using my phone for a bit and she wanted to snap to somebody else, so she changed the name to Marco in parentheses, but really Nicole.
Yep.
So that her friend could find me.
Yeah, that's what your name appears as.
Yeah.
But there's the actual
your tag.
Yeah, that people use to find you.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you investigate that. We'll crack these open. This is the One Baron Podcast. No, we won.
Thank you.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
So no, you can't change your Snapchat name.
No? Did you like Google if you could?
Yeah, it's the official Google answer that pops up first. Like currently, you can't do this.
Says nah.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
I mean, you figure if your name's fluid, then you can probably. I don't know. There's a lot of confusion with that.
I made mine like a year before like Snapchat was good.
Yeah.
When I got it, Snapchat was just you take a video and you send it to your friend.
Right.
And that was it. Now there was no story. There was nothing like that.
Yeah.
Now it's better. So my username is just David R 1288, and there's nothing creative about it.
Right.
So it sucks that people have like, what's yours?
I think it's just Mr. Dupa. Yeah, Mr. Dupa.
No, or like Obesius or something.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. I was like, I'm not gonna use this shit anyway.
Yeah.
Just threw it out.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like the old PlayStation being real sticklers about theirs.
Yeah, that's always been a big complaint.
It's Xbox too.
Xbox,
actually,
you can. No, Xbox.
Are they coming out with an update that's going to allow that?
Xbox or
PlayStation?
PlayStation.
No.
Xbox you can do. You had to pay like $10.
Yeah.
No, PlayStation you can't. There's
PlayStation
nothing.
that's in the pipe.
Uh,
pipe, my boy.
people have been complaining about it, but they haven't announced anything yet.
I signed up for their update beta
Oh yeah,
for the playing on PC.
Yeah. Okay.
nice.
You might catch me on Overwatch on the PC. That's a whole different game.
shit.
Oh my goodness.
Girl. But it kind of, that's a good point you made earlier. Like, you got in on the ground floor of that app, and then you didn't think it was gonna. Who could have the foresight that it was gonna be such a big thing?
Right.
And that's what a lot of people on like
Zuckerberg.
PlayStation, they jump in there and their first gamer tag is like, eat shit nerds 24.
420.
Bong Ripper 420.
Right.
Oh, yeah. That's
And
a
then now
classic.
they've got to stick with that for the rest of their life. They're going to be in like their 30s and 40s showing their kids their PlayStation games. Like, Bong Ripper 420? What? I don't get it, Dad. It was a long time
I was
ago.
a huge gamer. Just check out my Twitch feed, kids. Look me up. Bong Ripper 420.
Bong Ripper.
Well, Grandpa, you were sick.
So yeah, that kind of sucks that they won't let people do that. And they don't have a good reason for not letting people do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been something they've talked about in the past, but apparently there's some kind of back end issue with doing that. I mean, I think some of it is people are they're afraid of people like pirating stuff and then hiding behind a new screen name.
Yeah. But see, what people have said is you have the name on your account, and then you have something that is the public display. What PC does and what Xbox technically does is they have that one in the background where they know that account is yours,
Right.
whether or not you change the gamer tag or not.
And I've heard a workaround for that is they assign you like a serial number.
Right.
So everybody's serial number is unique. You can change your name to whatever you want, but that serial number belongs to your box.
Right.
And so that's
So
an easy way.
that's two
for
different
them,
options right there.
Yeah, for them to track you. Yeah, I don't think it was ever built into the back end, and it's apparently a big coding nightmare. It has to be, or else they would have. I mean, what benefit do they have for not letting people do that? Like they could charge money just like Xbox.
Yeah,
did.
I was just about to say they could be making a killing off of
Right.
it.
So it's clear that they can't haven't figured it out yet. So it seems like one of those stupid little things that they should know, but
Yeah, whatever.
yeah,
Fuck them.
I'm fine with Lord Obesius.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what app or what point you get in on
No.
the app. Sticking with
Obesius.
Yeah.
If Obesius isn't available, Lord
still
_
stands.
Obesius, come find me.
Do you need the underscore?
That's on everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think you did at least on PlayStation.
Yeah. Oh, to make a space.
Yeah.
I just meant you wouldn't need it if it was all one word.
No.
But I guess that's a strange word. Now it starts to look like,
Lordo.
yeah.
Lordo Besius.
Besius.
Lord Obius.
Yeah.
Lord L. Ordobicis. All right.
The
Let's get
This
into
is
some shit.
evolving. Let's get into the show.
It is. Let's get into some shit. What the fuck? What happened?
we watch TV.
That's right. That's all we did. Actually, that's what y'all did. I can't watch anything but Overwatch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You've only been overwatching.
That's all I've been doing.
Watching over.
Didn't watch the Killing Joke. I'm gonna finish Stranger Things probably tonight, depending on what
It's a short series.
down. Yeah, I mean me and Nicole are halfway through it. There's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
and so it's really easy to
Easily
get through. You guys
digestible.
both finished it.
Yep.
So I guess this is the no spoiler cast.
Yeah, you're safe.
Thank you, appreciate it. But I don't know. What you got? What did you guys come away from? What did you come? I don't know how to structure that sentence. What'd you think of it?
There it is.
I initially going into it, I was just hooked right away. Like just before the show even started, when you power up, when you just fire up Netflix, they have that trailer that just plays, and it's just like flashes of just what seemed to be just 80s images, and it has this nostalgic feel to it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was a popular show. I didn't know it was brand new.
Yeah.
It was one of those like serendipitous moments where like just hanging out, and I fired up, and it's the first thing I see, and I'm like, oh, cool. All right,
Yeah.
I'll check it out, which is probably exactly what they wanted.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm their little slave.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no. After that, like
Hook,
it was
line, and
just-
sinker.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Got 'em.
They had me from the beginning. It was everything: the '80s feel, the soundtrack, the wardrobe, the look, the way things were shot.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's pretty faithful.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I like it.
Yeah.
I was not so into it at first,
Wow.
honestly.
Because I'm a film buff.
Is that why?
I don't really have to
aesthetically about it?
I don't really have to say anything else after that. That's my review right there.
That's it. Don't like it?
I'm a film buff. No, I mean, it was mostly because I felt like in the beginning he was was it Duffer Brothers?
Yeah, the people
the
who made
Doofy
the
Bros.
shows.
The Duffy Bros?
The Doofy Bros.
Is it Doofy?
I think it's Duffer. Yeah. Them Doofy Bros.
Is it really? That's unfortunate. I just go with Duff.
Yeah.
Just cut it off.
Them Duff Bros.
Duff Bros.
Bros,
Super
I
Duff
think,
Bros. Yeah, I thought that they were ripping a little bit too much from like Spielberg and stuff, and it
I read a
seemed
lot of
like
that.
too much of an influence in it. It was only until later on in the season that it became its own thing,
Yeah.
and that's when I really started to like it.
Probably around like right after episode 4, where I'm at. It's just taking a turn.
Yeah,
I haven't hit
pretty-
the turn yet.
No, it starts to become something unique and within itself. Because before that, I'm like, that scene is directly from ET. Like this interaction is directly from ET, and I almost like line for line, like scene for scene, it was just a complete rip of these movies that I'm like, okay, I understand what you're doing, but the entire time I was watching it, I couldn't help but think like Super 8 did this better 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
shade.
now, no, let me say this.
Watch your back, Doofy Bro.
Let me say this, you doofs. I actually really ended up liking it by the end of it. I went from this because I mean I never disliked it. I thought it was still good for what it was, well made, obviously. But by the end of it, I went from a good to awesome. So it slid up my scale a bit once it started to find its own ground to run on and kind of come into itself.
Yeah.
I think by the end of
They
it,
teased you a bit. They're like, look what we're doing. I mean, we know you know. Come
Yeah.
on, follow us.
Yeah.
Come down the rabbit hole.
right? So it got much better by the end of it, in my opinion, just because it stopped being a slave to its influences.
Right.
But-
I mean, who doesn't? I don't know. I can't find anybody who wouldn't enjoy that whole thing that they were going for, the '80s thing with the kids and
80s movies with like adventure 80s movies with kids seem to just
Oh yeah.
land.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. Goonies,
Monster
E.T.
Squad, T, Super 8,
yeah,
Lord of the Rings.
Those were kids, right?
yeah.
But yeah, no, I liked where they went with it. I'm interested to hear what you think by the end of watching it all.
Yeah.
What do you think as of now, though? Because that's pretty interesting too. You're only halfway through, so how are
Right.
you feeling about it?
I mean, I understand what you're saying about the influences are pretty obvious from the jump. You're like, okay, I think I've seen this movie before, but it's a good movie, you know.
Yeah.
It's although it does seem like there's a couple of things that are ripped off. It's still really good. And I mean, nobody's doing stuff like that now. It seemed like there was a good with everyone's obsession with nostalgia and specifically 80s, 70s, and 80s
Yep.
nostalgia. This seems like the perfect time to put something like this out.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people are eating it up so much.
For sure.
Because it's just like, this is right in where everyone
Right in the pocket.
Right, exactly.
Right in the nostalgia feels.
And I mean, I just unbiasedly, like it's really, really fun. It's just a really fun show.
Yeah.
You know, it's got everything that you want so far from something like that. Genre bending. It's funny. It's well acted.
Yeah.
It's well written so far.
Winona Ryder doesn't steal anything.
Yeah, you know what? You guys said that there was nobody big in it when I asked like 2 episodes ago.
No.
And then the show starts and Winona Ryder's the first name and I'm
Wrong.
like, ah.
We said there was a name we didn't remember, but there's one person in it that had a.
Actually, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. You did mention a person. Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Why is that significant to you?
She's a big name. She's pretty big. She's been around forever.
To the authorities.
Ugh.
Ooh, yeah. They got her wanted poster. There's old Winona.
Why is that such a big deal?
Oh, Winona. That's
Aside from her,
really
old-
offensive.
Old Winona.
She's playing moms now.
Oh man.
You know what's funny is when I saw her those are the first two thoughts I had. Was first, these guys didn't tell me about Winona Ryder, and second, that she's playing a mom and a mom to 2 kids,
right?
Like, and she still looks really young to me.
Yeah, you're used to seeing her as the daughter.
Yeah,
in movies, so it's kind of weird to see her.
She's the daughter, or she's the love interest. She's never
a mom.
The mom.
Yeah,
and it's very.
She's disappeared for a while, so I think the last thing I remember her being in is Star Trek.
What? Star Trek? Oh yeah, she was the mom in that.
Yeah.
That's right. She's
Spock's mom.
Spock's mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't even know that.
The human side of him. When she dies, she falls off the cliff somehow.
Spoiler.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen the Star Trek movie,
you're being highly illogical.
Whatever. Oh, speaking of Star Trek, you want to talk about something irrelevant now?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, is Star Trek Beyond out?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, movie's out.
#1 movie in the country.
Really?
Surprisingly,
yeah.
Because people were.
Well, what else is out?
They were dogging it. True. It came out in a good time frame.
What else is out? What just got ripped to shreds? Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, yeah. I think that's probably #2.
But even that, like, that made a ton of money. So people are either, I don't know, either they're seeing it out of spite or they're seeing it
probably just morbid curiosity. Honestly,
yeah.
That's what I would watch it.
Did you watch it?
I didn't get to
thought you
see
were
it.
gonna watch it.
I was going to, but Eloise ended up backing out.
backing out.
Yeah. So.
Well, she was just like, nah, you know what?
Oh no, she had
it's probably a bad idea.
Her sister and her sister's friend ended up going and seeing it, and they came back with rave reviews.
Of course.
Yeah.
The first thing that Eloise's sister said when I was reading the reviews off was probably about men.
Yeah, probably, most likely.
So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that she comes back from a movie with just a female lineup.
Yeah. Well, that movie was going to get good reviews from her, even if it was dog shit. It was going to get good reviews.
She listened, so I'm hoping to hear her reaction to this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she's biased. I'm just saying that she's biased. That's
all.
No, I don't know. I can't call it. Does sound like she's biased though. And if she wants to come at me, bro. Come at the one beer in.
I mean, I think she went into it wanting to like it, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean that definitely helps. I mean, you're gonna laugh harder when you want to laugh versus when you go to, like, when people go to see horror movies. I think we've talked about it, but you go to a theater, you spend money, you sit down, and then you cross your arms and go, nope,
not scary.
Like,
this is fake.
Yeah, what are you doing?
This movie's fake.
Why would you do that to yourself and to the people you saw the movie with?
Nah, that's why I don't spend money on scary movies.
Don't.
Scary movies.
Exactly. At least you know it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to waste your time, energy, and money doing that. That's dumb.
Yeah.
But kind of getting back to Star Trek Beyond's out, and a not a very important part of the movie, but something that's pretty important in the history of movies and this movie is that they have made Captain Sulu a homosexual.
Oh my.
And it was something that they felt that would be good to put in there as a step forward, a progressive step, and also a tribute to the man who made the character famous, obviously, George Takei.
Oh my.
Made that bitch famous.
Mm-hmm. And in an ironic turn of events, George Takei was not happy about it.
George Takei was not okay.
He was not okay. He said that he was happy that they were making an attempt at something like that, but he felt that they shouldn't have done it with his character because his character was never established as a homosexual character, and to kind of do it now seemed like they were shoehorning it in just to have a gay character in the movie, which is, wow, from a gay person to say that about a gay character being in a movie.
Well, what else did he act as?
Who, George Takei?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
What other characters has he portrayed? This is like his bread and butter.
Right, I think he hit the ground running on that one, and then
star
just
and role.
held on to that.
That was it.
Yeah,
I think that was it. Like I have.
He's probably had bit parts and
he's
stuff.
definitely had to have
He's
something.
been in stage plays later on in his life and stuff like that. But
Well, IMDb that, but I think I see his point of view where it's like, this is, his character. This is him, essentially. So you come in and you change something just because the reality version of the actor is something the character is not.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it was also his allegiance to the original creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah.
Who's now deceased. Like, since he's not here to defend his work, I feel like maybe George Takei is trying to kind of do him the service of saying like, hey, this wasn't his vision.
Yeah.
You shouldn't mess with the character. Like it's maybe not a defining characteristic of him. He's not like Kurt, who's a womanizer. You know, it's not, his sexuality is not a defining feature of that character, but he wasn't thought of as being a homosexual originally.
Right.
So I think that's sort of his issue with it, is that wasn't the original vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good that it's good they're pushing those characters out. They're trying to give new people new like attributes.
Right.
And just trying to, something progressive, make something that's not normal.
Right. Right. And I think that's what these writers and directors and just media people in general need to start trying to do. And I think that's what they've been trying to do, is to make something that seems quote unquote abnormal normal, like you said. And I think that's the first step to it. So now, it won't get they're trying to make things like gay sex, like a gay sex scene, a normal thing. It's just sex. It's not gay or straight. It's just like a sex scene or a gay relationship.
But it's not normal sex. It's butt sex.
Right. That's true. It's not. So
They're doing it in the butt mark.
I mean, how could it be normal?
Not necessarily. All right.
Where else could they be doing it?
I don't know.
Armpit.
I don't
Back
know.
of the knee.
There are multiple.
There is
actually,
that
there are
hole
multiple
right
options,
there in the
Mark.
back of the knee.
Here.
Multiple options.
Okay.
Not to mention Star Trek's full of aliens. You don't know where holes are.
Very true. Very true. But it is interesting that they're trying to make that. They're trying to step forward with that, like biracial couples.
Well, that's
really
what started
trying
in
to-
Star Trek too.
Right.
Uhura.
Right.
Uhura.
I was in Michael's today. Side note.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
It's relevant.
We're just going.
Okay. We'll
It's
see.
relevant.
We'll see.
Sorry, Michael's Arts and Crafts.
Michael's Arts and
Okay.
Crafts, not just any Michael. I mean, I
My boy Michael.
know a couple Michaels, but
My boy Mike's.
and I'm going through the picture frames, and in one of the stock photos is a white dude, a black lady, and then their daughter is mixed, and that was like a stock image photo, which I thought was really interesting because
Yeah.
they haven't done that in a while. It's usually like a family of white people and a white dog.
Yeah.
A white dog.
And they look like they really love each other.
A burning cross.
In the background always. And so yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. So it just kind of speaks to the point of like, these people are trying to make these things just a normal part of life. It doesn't
doing it.
have to be
Doing it, people.
finally.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah, and I mean,
we've done it.
They talked to one of the writers, actually, Simon Pegg, and his defense was basically just like, I don't agree. I respect George Takei, but I don't agree. I think that if we were to have to put in just a random character for the sake of him being gay, that would be worse.
Right.
So I understand that too, and that makes total sense to me.
Right.
So, honestly, I think even though George Takei didn't like it, I think it may have been the right move if they were trying to make that move in the
Right.
first place.
Right.
So, I don't know.
What do you think? I mean, this character specifically, like the idea, conceptually, I think we can all agree it's a good idea that they're trying to do this. But this character specifically, a character that's been in Inception since what? The 60s?
Yeah.
And he's never been shown. Been shown within a relationship, from what I read, like not a serious relationship.
I think there were allusions.
I think they said he had a kid.
There were allusions to him having a girlfriend or wife in the past or something like that. But
so,
Is it necessary? No.
yeah.
Is it nice to see? Yeah, and like Adam said, if they just wrote a gay character in, it probably wouldn't have been the same thing.
It definitely wouldn't
I mean,
have been.
it's not like you're gonna watch the movie and what's the actor's name?
which one?
Not Takei.
John Cho.
Oh yeah,
It's not like John Cho's like Captain Phaser's done.
Right, it's not like a
He's gonna be the same guy.
Right.
He's
Right.
gonna be the same guy,
Right.
so it's not gonna impact the story that much.
Right.
As long as he's just the same character.
That's true. That's
Right.
true.
So
Which
why does it matter that much?
exactly. That's
Yeah.
a societal lesson. If your job is to pilot a spacecraft, it doesn't matter if you're gay or straight.
Right.
Like you just
do your
you
job.
do your job and you're good at it.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It becomes a normal part of life. Nobody makes a fuss about it, and that's it.
Yeah, but I can just imagine, it really falls in line with the narrative of millennials and today's society of like trying to do these things where having an all-female Ghostbusters cast, or something a little bit more relevant, having a black female lead in a sequel from a movie from 1991, The Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Which people
First off,
Yeah.
why though?
Blast off.
why is an excellent start to this conversation.
Did anybody ask for it?
I don't know.
You know, it's funny you say that. A lot of people freaking love that movie.
Right? Yeah.
Love that movie. There's an underground scene of Rocketeer lovers that just can't get enough of that movie.
It's crazy.
It's a cult classic.
I'll agree with that. I will say when I was a kid, my mom will tell you this story over and over and over again. She'll never let it go. I had a Rocketeer doll. It wasn't really a doll. It was like this big. He couldn't move his arms and legs. He looked like the pink erasers, like that. That's what it was. That's what he was shaped like. And he was blasting.
Yeah.
He was flying basically.
So
He was
a
looking
little,
straight up.
little figurine.
Yeah, and he didn't move. All his arms and legs were attached to his body, so it was just one single piece of rubber that they carved
Just
this
the mold
Rocketeer
that
out
went
of. Basically,
pressed it.
exactly.
Okay.
And I walked around with that toy for the better part of I don't know, from 3 to 7
I wish you were
ish.
like 25 years. Just pull it out of
Still
your
haven't.
pocket.
No, I wish I did hold on to it because it'd be a pretty cool piece of memorabilia now. So, I mean, it was awesome. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I like it.
I
But
haven't seen it in a long time, but
Yeah.
I remember liking it when I
I
saw
watched it as a kid and had no appreciation for it at all.
Right.
So I need to watch it again.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down to rewatch it.
I watch it. But still, it does still beg the question, why? Maybe there is a cult following for it, but cult followings do not make the dollar bills, my
where's
man.
Pulp Fiction 2.
Right.
There's Reservoir Dogs 2.
There's
The Room 2.
a funny part about that is I saw the producers of the movie. I don't know if you saw that too, but there's a couple of athletes that are
Oh, yes, I
backing
did
this
see that.
movie.
Very strange. Blake Griffin
Yep.
of the Los Angeles Clippers is one of the producers, and I forgot who the other one
Somebody
was.
else, yeah. I don't know.
I think it was a golfer.
Probably.
I don't remember.
Somebody irrelevant to the Hollywood scene.
Yeah, it's very strange that these two people would be involved with this movie.
So they're just probably rich fans
yeah.
that really wanted to see this movie get
I
made.
mean, Blake Griffin is our age, so
Yeah,
he would have
it
grown
makes
up
sense.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still weird. It's set 5 years after the original movie. In the original movie, they fought Nazis because that's the Great American Fight,
Yeah.
and she is taking up the mantle of the Rocketeer. The original Rocketeer is off. He's disappeared in his fight with the Nazis, which I don't like that aspect of it. I really feel like they should have just said it.
You hate when like main characters are written out like
Yeah,
that.
I do too. I do too.
I can't stand it.
Or when they get killed in like the first opening scene or something.
Or a test flight.
Or a test flight, maybe, or at least kill him off in a test flight.
Independence Day.
He's the Rocketeer, right? Yeah, he's been the Rocketeer for 20 years, and then all of a sudden he forgets how to pilot his own
I
thing.
can understand it's a shaky technology.
Right.
Not many jetpacks.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong.
It's
and
like the
blows up.
40s.
Right? Who's
you
gonna
know?
fix it other than him? You know.
Right.
But so it's set 5 years, so it's gonna be a period piece, and he's not gonna be in the movie. Damn it, I forgot his name. I gotta look it up. The star of the Rocketeer. The Rocketeer, the original Rocketeer is not going to be
Handsome
in
white
it.
guy.
And I don't know. I think that's a wasted opportunity, in my opinion.
I'd really like at least a cameo.
Yeah, and he can't do it now because he was a young man when this movie came out.
Excelsior.
So,
I mean, I don't think he's
Put
like.
Stan Lee in it.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly was in it.
Yeah, she was.
She's fine, man.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Jennifer Connelly. What is this guy's name? Oh, Cliff Campbell. Billy Campbell. His name was Cliff Seckert in the movie. That's the character's name.
Oh, Cliff.
Billy Campbell. Yeah, he's still a good-looking guy. He could probably still pull it off.
Yeah, they just put on a bunch of makeup. He'll be fine.
I mean, he looks older. He looks
Yeah,
grizzled,
let me see,
but
how old
I
is
mean,
he?
he could still pull it
What,
off.
like 43?
Yeah. Fine.
57.
Whoa.
Damn, son.
He has kept
Wow.
himself together.
Wow, I wish I could look like that when I'm 57.
Good for him.
Seriously.
Good for you, William Oliver Campbell. Anyway, this kind of goes along with the narrative of what I was saying before, of like, everybody who's like progressive and liberal, they're really into this kind of thing, but there's that section of America, the conservative section of America, that we need Gavin here for this. I wonder how he feels about
The Rocketeer?
a black woman being the star of the Blacketeer. The Rocketeer.
Whoa.
That should be called the Blacketeer.
Okay.
But no, it's just
BET presents
the Blacketeer.
Blacketeer.
TV movie.
Tyler Perry's The Blacketeer.
Oh, God.
But yeah, it's just it's I don't know. Sometimes like is it forced or is it something where it's just like it's not forced? This is just the
This doesn't feel forced. It kind of just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
right, and it doesn't feel like something where it's like we
It's
need
not-
to have a
It's not old enough to be because it came out in like the 90s.
91.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not old enough to be like an 80s reboot, but it's not new enough to be like, do we really need that
Right.
at this point? I think it's pretty well timed for something like that. It's just something that everybody fucking forgot about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like coming out with an Anaconda movie now or something.
There's no need for that.
Don't do that. They have like 4 of those.
I know. I don't want to will another
that's
one.
true. There
into
are
it.
several sequels of Anaconda that just went straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Along with Tremors,
Yeah. Ugh.
Leprechaun.
I'd like to see that new Leprechaun.
Several.
Actually, not the newest one. The newest one is supposed to be like a
Leprechaun say yeah.
yeah. It's supposed to be like a horror movie. It's supposed to be like a
Atrociously bad.
yeah, but like a legit step back to the first one that was supposed to be like an actual scary movie.
Turned out to be a comedy.
Yeah. Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
Early role.
one of her first roles. Anyway, I don't know. It just it. I can see people are going to be upset about it. Is
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
I mean, we always come back to the same
Who's
same argument about if it ends up servicing the story, then fine. If it's written that way to just make a point on its own, no.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to do that.
Yeah.
Like something going back to sci-fi, looking at like Mass Effect, you can choose to be a man or woman as your main character, and then you can choose to be gay or straight.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make sweet love to anybody you want in that game. Basically, any of the main characters.
Even Rex?
I don't think Rex would wreck you.
Specious.
Yeah. But I mean that's the thing though. Like this was inspired by Star Trek, and it went a step further. And so
Yeah.
now I think that like cinema is trying to move into that space.
Yeah.
So these things are influencing each other, and they didn't make that decision because they're trying to pander to anybody. They did that because it was made for a fine story. It didn't impact the story in any way, really.
Right.
So
Such a fun story.
such a fine story. Quite fine.
I don't know. I've never played it. Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I said that. I said I'd never played
He
it.
never played them. Yeah.
What?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Never played it.
Man.
Glad I didn't spoil anything for you.
I mean, I'm not. It's not like I'm going to play it now.
You should.
I mean, if they do like
Andromeda's coming out.
yeah. I know everybody's super excited about it. Not me because I don't care. 'Cause I never played it.
I mean,
Never played it. I mean, I would like to. I even almost bought the all 3. They have a collection and it's like dirt cheap, and I just didn't do it. Just didn't pull the
why?
trigger. I don't know. I was just like, 3 games right now, 3 whole games. I'm not gonna sit down and play all 3 of these. Little did I know I'd have so much free time.
So
to
he
play all
bought
3.
Uncharted,
right.
the collection.
and played all 3.
wow.
I know.
The hell was I going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, man. It's gone.
You
I let
done
Adam
goofed.
finish and it's gone.
Yep. See, this is what happens. You got to keep.
I just got to
interrupting
talk
him.
over everybody.
Yeah.
You said, "Do you guys?"
How do you think I get my points
damn
across?
it.
You know, I step all over you guys. So yeah, it's cool. They don't have anything as far as like. I'm pretty sure they don't even have the cast together, if I'm not mistaken. They have it written.
I doubt it. It
They
was
don't
just
have the
announced.
cast. Yeah,
Like, just announced.
Oh,
there it is.
what studio is making this?
Disney.
Yeah, it's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It was Disney then, and it's Disney now.
No worries.
It was Disney then, and it's Disney now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If it's a Disney movie, especially with what they've done to hero films,
Films.
now, yeah. I mean, I got a good feeling about it.
What
Hopefully
if it's Tomorrowland?
Hopefully they'll.
Ooh, true.
Uh-oh.
Good point.
We never watched that.
Nope.
I've seen scenes.
You seen the scenes?
I've seen scenes.
Scenes?
I've seen scenes.
Bring, bring.
It doesn't look good. Something we also didn't watch but need to is The Killing Joke,
Yeah.
because
Speak for
it's
yourselves.
something me and Adam haven't watched
Yeah.
but need to. Is
Yeah.
The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
David, you've seen it.
Yeah.
You sat down and watched the whole thing. It's only like an hour, right?
It's an hour and 16 minutes, including the credits.
Okay. So, just a tad bit of backstory for any nerds who are listening to the One Beer In but have not read The Killing Joke.
go back and read The Killing Joke, you
Seriously,
nerd.
that's
You're a
it.
fake nerd.
That's
Fake
all.
ass nerd.
I know. That's all the backstory you get. Anyway, let's talk about the movie. No, graphic novel that came out. I don't know, 90.
I think it was earlier.
Maybe
than
earlier than that?
Yeah,
Earlier than that?
Doesn't matter. Andy, who was the writer? Moore.
Alan Moore.
Alan Moore.
Famous.
You know
for
what? I'm gonna let
Watchmen.
you do this. Go ahead and give the people a backstory of The Killing Joke.
Classic Batman story, one of the most praised and also most controversial Batman stories, written by Alan Moore. It's a very dark novel, and the big controversy circles around Batgirl. Batgirl. I was gonna say woman.
Batwoman.
Sorry, I'm very progressive. All right.
Yeah. She ain't no girl.
No, she's a woman.
She's a strong, independent Batwoman.
She's a Batwoman.
She don't need no Batman.
You don't need no Batman, unless you talk about this movie. Apparently.
Right. So we'll get to it.
Yeah, but anyway, are we spoiling the story of
The Killing Joke?
The Killing
Sorry,
Joke, yeah.
Killing Joke's only 27 years old, so 1988 is the year it came out, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know. Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah. Look, hey, spoiler alert.
Yeah, if you want, skip
We're gonna-
ahead. But
We're going to talk about The Killing Joke
Okay.
right now.
So
Right
the-
now.
right now, the biggest controversy in this story was that Barbara Gordon, who is also Batgirl, ends up getting shot and paralyzed in this story, and that is why she's wheelchair bound in the rest of the lore and a lot of other Batman stories. It's 'cause
Comes the Oracle.
she becomes the Oracle, right? Who helps out Batman.
It's also sort of implied that she's the victim of sexual violence.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
Yep. And them doing that to a strong female character is obviously a big deal.
Right.
Now, knowing Alan Moore's work, that doesn't seem like that out of the question, because he specializes in very dark, unsettling things.
Right.
But it's also really praised as one of the strongest of his novels, or of the Batman novels in general. And does a lot of good backstory with the Joker in particular.
Yeah.
There's the whole, was it Red
Hood.
Yeah. I always get that confused because there's the Red Hood story as well.
And then there's the Red Baron with his dank ass pizza.
That's true.
Red Baron is the shit.
His
Red Baron is heavily slept on.
his
my man.
criminally good pizza.
Criminally good.
Better get out of here with that shit.
For real. For real.
Shot that man down with his pizzas.
Snoopy.
The Killing Joke. The Killing Joke and Batman Returns, 2 movies, and Batman Year One. Those
Dark
3
Knight,
movies.
Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, Dark Knight Returns. Thank you. And Batman Year One. All of those movies are heavily referenced in the Dark Knight trilogy, Nolan's trilogy. So if you've seen the trilogy, you're seeing a lot of allusions to these graphic novels. So the Joker backstory, the confusion of his backstory, the is it real, is it legit, is it
Right.
all of that stuff is a lot of callbacks to the stuff that's set up in these graphic novels.
Yeah, and one of the biggest ones, especially for Dark Knight Returns, is that the Joker makes it a point to say that your insanity is only one step away. Like
Right.
everybody is very close to being the Joker at any
Only takes
point.
one bad day.
Exactly, and that's the point of that
Or it's,
novel.
You're one bad day away.
Right.
That's the quote.
So that is a very heavy thematic element seen in the Nolan film, specifically the second one.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, there's definite influences throughout it.
Right.
So a fantastic graphic novel, which people have pined for a real life adaptation or any kind of adaptation for a very long time. There are the purists who say no, leave it alone. There are some people who reference what we just talked about, like they have already taken major elements for the Nolan film, so what do you need an adaptation for? Regardless, they have done it. I think we touched on it a little bit because we were excited about the voice cast,
Yeah.
which sees the return of the Batman animated series voice actors, Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill, the master Mark Hamill as the Joker. Now it's out, and there's more controversy, if you can believe that. More
Literally
controversy.
split down the middle on Rotten Tomatoes, 50%.
Wow. So it all stems from the prologue that's added to the movie to kind of flesh out Batgirl's character and to kind of, I mean, they even said it. It's literally to make the movie a little bit longer. They needed the
Really?
length. I
Yeah.
mean, they needed the
come
length.
on.
It's a feature-length film, and there's no
Sorta.
way it would have got there without the prologue. So we've heard about it, but David, you actually watched it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, tell us about it.
Unnecessary.
The prologue or
Yeah,
just
I
the
didn't-
movie itself?
The prologue, I didn't need it at all.
Yeah?
There's no reason for it. It's like, yeah, if I could see why they just added it for time, and that kind of upsets me now because I thought they were just going for something, I don't know, interesting,
Yeah.
or spice it up a bit,
Right.
but they didn't.
Well, I mean, that is. I don't want to take that
So the whole
away
thing-
from the writers.
The whole
I mean,
thing,
that's
the added time is that now Batman and Batgirl have this romance thing going on.
yeah,
Weird.
And it's just
yeah.
do without it, man.
Well, because he's always been historically a parental figure for her.
Right.
Which is how I see it. So it's kind of weird being
Yeah.
your dad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Your
strange.
Bat Dad.
Your
Bat Dad. Ugh. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people. They were.
Where's this penis going?
Wow. Well, what ABV is this beer?
6, only 6.
You need to get that out.
So, yeah, that's a lot of people's problem with it. Is that your fucking face? Is that it was unnecessary. It seemed like forced. Seemed like a rewrite of the well-established characters. I don't know.
It didn't even happen in like a natural, fluid motion. It was just like we're fighting and then we're doing it.
Right.
The movie overall, like Adam said, it's split down the middle. I thought it was really okay.
Yeah.
Some of the animation, I looked at it and I went, this is clearly all digital. Some of this looks like it could have been in Newgrounds from 2002, and it's just, it's bad. Some of it's just bad, but you have Kevin Conroy and you have Mark Hamill kind of saving what everybody else is dropping the ball on. The animation, really, I didn't think was that great.
Yeah.
I've seen better DC animated movies. I thought Flashpoint was way better animated
Yeah.
than this.
People are saying that. They're saying that the animation itself, like, is in some spots poorly done.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's what they were going for, because the comic is dark and grungy, so let's
Yeah.
make the animation kind of match that. But it looks like shit most of the time.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched like this scene of the Joker, like his first appearance in the film, and even just from that, I was kind of like, this doesn't look as well as it could,
Right.
or as well as it should.
Is it the cards?
Nah, it's the scene where he's buying the carnival.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just kind of walking and talking to the guy. And
Yeah, if they had gotten Batman 1990s animated series to make fucking forget
Well,
about
I mean,
it.
that's okay.
Whoa.
We
Fucking forget
we
about
we
it.
talked about this a little bit before we got on the podcast, but other than the animated series, Batman Beyond, and a handful of the DC animated series, or not series, but movies that they've come out with, like Flashpoint, for example, was good in my opinion. I don't like those shows. I don't like those movies. Like,
a lot of them are shitty.
they're not well made at all. The animation is janky, or it looks all computer
It's bad,
generated.
like the Marvel animations are even worse.
I can only imagine. I've heard that too, and I can't believe that. Like it, the
Why is it
difference.
so hard?
I don't know the difference in the artistry between the animated series, which I think is hand drawn. It looks hand drawn, and then cutting to today, and everything is so like sleek but janky looking.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Like it looks bad. It looks
Yeah.
bad to me. So I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. People still say DC is far and beyond better than Marvel's stuff, but I just
Well,
I don't.
animated or
Yeah,
just,
animated stuff. I don't know what people seen it though.
Here's how they should have done the Killing Joke. They should have started with Batman the animated series opening, done that, that episode cover that they have, and it just says Killing Joke, and then they go through the actual Killing Joke storyline, all the same art.
Yes.
Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill has the voice. It all makes sense,
What?
and the
Yes.
nostalgia just hits you right,
Man, that would have
Right,
been
yes.
that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
right in your prostate.
Yes. Wait. What if they did it? Because they said that the main portion of the storyline that is in the book is only about 45 minutes, so they could easily have made that an episode,
Yeah.
yeah.
like an episode of the show.
Mask of the Phantasm. It.
Yes.
Get a fucking
Yeah.
feature movie.
Yes.
Great idea.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, and it's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
now,
it's
though.
too late
Damn
now.
it. Somebody do that on the internet. I
too
don't
late
know.
now.
Find a way.
I love that you posted that thing about how they debuted it at Comic-Con What's
No,
up?
it's not a feature. It's a 2-part episode.
What is
They've done
the
that
Mask
before.
Of the
Yeah,
Phantasm?
in the animated series, they've done 2-parters.
Yeah.
Well, not the Mask of the Phantasm.
Not the
No.
Mask of the Phantasm.
That's a
movie.
feature. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, they debuted it at Comic-Con, and then they had a Q&A afterward, and people were not letting them off the hook for that prologue and for the allusions to
Bat romance.
well, not the illusions. I mean, they fuck.
Oh, yeah.
They get it on.
They fuck.
So that's not an illusion, and people are not letting them off the hook. And what?
Such a corny scene too, because they do the whole like she's on top thing, and then she takes the bat mask and the bat shirt off. It's not one piece.
Right.
She throws it. She's in her bat bra, and the camera just pans up. And
Awful.
it's implied.
Awful. Yeah. Then the other thing is like from what I've always understood, Batgirl was with Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
They always had a relationship.
Well, because they're supposed to be around the same age.
Right.
Unlike Batman and Batgirl.
And so, like, yeah.
I mean, it's in the name. She would be Batwoman if she was okay for him to be screwing.
right.
It doesn't make any sense.
They call her Batgirl to make her childlike.
Yes. Yeah.
She is definitely younger than him by at least 15 to 20 years, man. Come on. That's weird. That's a weird thing for them to add. You know, and it just seems like...
For controversy's sake?
Yeah, because it's a strange aspect of the story that's not really explored from what I've read. That it's not. That,
and then going back to what you were saying, why would they debut it at Comic-Con knowing that people there are the hardest of hardcore Batman fans? What did they expect?
Scrutinize the shit out of that.
Yes.
oh yeah, exactly. Every
We're
fucking
bringing
scene.
the Killing Joke. By the way, we're changing something, but we're bringing it back.
It'll be here for
It's
you.
gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge. And so people they let them have it. They questioned them about it, and one of the writers, he really got fed up with being questioned about his work. And one guy, I guess, yelled from the back of the auditorium something at him, and he's like, did he say it to my face? Or
Something.
he's like, come up here and say that, pussy.
Yeah.
He called him a pussy.
Yeah, he called him a pussy.
I mean, I read that and I was like, okay, all right, that's incredible that a comic book writer
Some nerd in the back.
just yells at him and he goes, say it to my face, you little bitch. He's just yelling at some guy in an auditorium. And you can see, I mean, it just feels like to be that upset about something like that, it seems like they sort of understand, like, maybe we didn't go in the direction that we should have.
We know you done fucked up.
Right. It seems like a bit of insecurity to be so angry about that. If you are confident in the product that you're making and somebody tells you that it's not good, it's like, well, I know it's good. I mean, I'm confident that I made it. I know it's good. I don't need your
Listen.
validation.
Listen, Mark, we're going to release The Killing Joke, but we're going to change one thing. The Batman, because nerds love this kind of thing.
Right.
Because they're just lonely basement dwellers. They're going to love, he's going to get it on with Batgirl.
Okay. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't
Listen,
think...
the testing group is just positive on everything.
Who's the testing group here?
Just nerds, 12 to 17.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and it's really PG kind of, but the movie's going to be R-rated, so.
I mean, what's R-rated about it?
You know what I don't really know?
We're working that out.
All right, I mean, are we going to get anybody back for it?
No, we're going to lose a lot of fans probably.
I mean, well...
We just need a green light. Can you just sign here?
I mean, have you seen the numbers on the Bat condoms?
I didn't even know that was a thing. We're making that now?
No, yeah, they got Bat utility belts that have the Bat condom storage cases for it. They're add-ons.
Never leave home without it.
All right, it's green lit. Just make sure you get Mark or Kevin, please.
Who?
Joel Schumacher, come in.
No, you get back in the closet. Oh.
Too far, man. Too far.
I took it there.
George Takei would not be okay with that.
No. I don't know. It kind of ruins. I mean, we were all super excited about it. We talked about it on here, being like really excited when it got announced.
Yeah, it was a good pick. I mean, it was honestly the last of the three that I feel are the strongest graphic novels.
Yeah.
Because they already did Year One. They already did Dark Knight. It was a two-parter of the first book.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen Year One? Year One's pretty good. It's got Bryan
Cranston as
Walter White. It's got Walter White.
It's not as Walter White.
He is Walter White as
Batman?
Commissioner
He's Gordon.
He's Gordon. Year one
Not
focuses
Commissioner
on
yet.
Gordon. Yeah,
I think I watched it.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
it's pretty good.
Wait, hold on. Bryan Cranston's in the comic?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's his likeness.
It probably is.
pretty close.
Year one surprised me at first. So I turned it on, and there was barely any Batman in it, and I was like, "What am I watching right now? This is not what I expected." But Bryan Cranston voice acts the shit out of it.
It's like the show Gotham, but better.
Yeah.
Speaking of DC shows, I started The Flash.
I saw like 2 episodes of it.
Why?
Myself.
Morbid curiosity. It's actually pretty good.
It's really good.
It's pretty good.
It's really
Well,
good.
that's what
It's
people
better
say
than
is that,
Arrow.
and Arrow was decent too. So,
Actually, better than Arrow.
I'm glad I started with Flash then, because I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. It's just a live action comic.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
It's a
And
lot of
that's-
fun. They have a lot more fun than Arrow does. And
Yeah.
when Arrow takes itself too seriously, that's where it falls.
But there are things in it you just have to go, this is a comic book.
Yeah.
And you have to keep it moving. Because there's one episode where, like, she's a human bomb. She's a human bomb? Yes, we have to stop her. No, let her join us. She's a human bomb. She's not a human bomb. She killed herself, so she's a human bomb. And you just have to kind of move with it.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool... I like it. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's something about it. Just I haven't watched enough of it to really speak on it. I'm like, what, five episodes in?
Have you watched the Supergirl show?
I watched a episode of it.
Does it have sort of the
Oh,
same
it's
aesthetic,
bad.
or because I watched Supergirl and I was like, this is
No,
not
it's on
good.
that was on a different network. They finally got it on
CW.
CW.
No, yeah, Supergirl. I don't know what episode of it I saw. It just didn't feel good.
Yeah, no. it
I mean,
just-
you watch a show and you there's things about it that are just that land with you, and things that just bother you about it.
yeah,
A lot of Supergirl bothered me because it just felt, one, unnecessary and unwanted.
yeah,
And then just the production was bad itself. I think it was on NBC first, right?
I think
yeah,
so,
yeah,
Yeah,
And that's
it was-
a big network for it to feel like.
Yeah, but they
it
make
didn't have
shit.
The
They make
budget.
shitty shows.
Yeah, they make awful
Don't they
shows.
make? Who makes NCIS?
I'm pretty sure that. I don't know. That's a good question. I
It's
think
one of those big.
I don't want to start
big
defecating
networks.
on one of these networks. I mean,
Doesn't
they both
matter.
suck. But
It's main cable. It's cable,
Yeah, it's a-
and they make horrible shows
Network.
because people will just watch it.
Yeah. This is
CBS makes
CBS.
NCIS.
Also bad. Who makes Big Bang?
CBS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, CBS sucks. CBS is only good for football. That's it. That's all they're good for. Because CBS and they're the highest rated channel. They have Big Bang and
NCIS.
NCIS, and then they have all the different versions of NCIS.
Oh, yeah.
NCIS it's still the highest rated TV show on TV.
They CSI'd it.
Like 50 million people watch that show every week.
And it's syndicated.
It's crazy.
disgusting.
I watched an episode.
How bad?
It's really, really like this isn't. We're not just like exaggerating just to like be contrarian. It's not a good show. It's just not. That I watched an episode of the LL Cool J one. I don't know if they're in Miami
Is it
or
Vegas?
I thought that was just
Maybe
NCIS.
No. That they're somewhere else. They're in LA. It's LA.
Ah, okay.
LA. So it's him and Robin. We're talking about Batman. Chris O'Donnell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Forgot he was still alive.
Dude.
He's fat now, right?
He's chunky.
He's not.
He's
Robin
definitely
fat.
not Robin. No,
Nah.
he's not fitting in that
Chicks dig the
uniform.
suit.
Yeah, exactly. He's not fitting in that. So he's wearing t-shirts, big t-shirts. And that show is awful. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
I have an idea. So how many NCISs are there?
I don't know. At least 4. There's got to be 4. There's the main one. There's the one in LA. I think there's one in New Orleans. And I don't
Miami?
know. There might be another one.
I'd say 3. I think there's
All
probably
right, let's
3.
just go
All
with
right,
3
all right.
right now.
So we throw all this one beer and bullshit. We just throw it out. We start new, and we watch NCIS one episode at a time. Then we record an hour episode, just tearing it to shit. And then we cycle through NCIS Vegas. What else is there?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
No, it's LA and New Orleans.
LA,
I don't
New
think
Orleans.
there's a Vegas one.
Whatever. I don't care.
If we're gonna make a podcast based around it, then we gotta care.
We just do that. and
Do
then
we?
We just tear an episode
little
apart.
bit.
We get upset. Everyone's like, this episode, LL Cool J took a bullet to the brain and he lived.
Fucking LL,
and
man.
he saved the day.
But it was all right.
LL's like a bomb expert in the show or something like that. Anyway.
NCIS is bad. Flash is good. If you haven't started Flash, watch Flash. You should start Flash, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, Flash is good. Confirmed.
Okay. I have too many TV shows I have to catch up with right now.
Did you guys watch the Justice League trailer?
Yes.
What did you think of that?
I honestly, I thought it was decent. I thought it looked way more fun than anything that they've done so far.
That's the thing. Like, I watched it, I was like, this looks like they're just trying to make it look fun.
If it's fun, it's fun. Whether the attempt is sincere or not, it's
Maybe I don't know the answer because I haven't seen all of Batman vs Superman. But why is Bruce Wayne just walking around, just legit door to door?
Yeah.
Would you want to join my superhero team?
Yeah.
Why is he doing that?
I don't know. I still need to see it. The trailer though made me want to go back and watch it. The Dawn of Justice, just to say that I've seen it.
Can I tell you something?
You can tell us anything.
It doesn't matter. There's no reason in Dawn of Justice that.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you finished it.
There's no reasoning behind it. Yeah. It doesn't answer any questions. Now, let me say, I did enjoy the trailer. Now, I felt like the tone was still like in progress. I don't feel like they quite got it yet. Like it's a teaser. They've said it's a long teaser, but it's a teaser.
Yeah, that's a hell of a teaser.
Yeah,
it's not a complete trailer yet, and that makes me feel a little bit better about it. But the tone's just not there yet.
Not there.
It's not quite there, and they've always been kind of not great. They've not been great at doing the writing thing, where the characters have to say intelligent things to each other.
The dialogue.
Don't like that the Flash is some kid.
Yeah,
he's Joseph Gordon-Levitt from Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah. And their comedy in particular has always fallen flat with me.
Yeah.
Like in all the DC movies so far, like the comedy is just not landed.
Yeah.
If he was Batman showing up to these places, would have been way just Batman just shows up, tells the Flash, "Do you want to join my team?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "You do." That would have been funnier than just Bruce Wayne going, "You do."
You do. You do.
Yeah.
Why am I writing better things than DC?
I don't know, man. I saw this really interesting video, this YouTube video of a guy like kind of breaking down why so far the Superman movies haven't been very good. And he makes a good point in saying that
it's all DC's fault.
Yeah, and that was the end of the video. Just turned it off after that.
It's like a 30-second video.
Yeah, that's it. No, he said that not only is he all about spectacle, which is fine. He's a very good visual.
You talking about Zack Snyder?
Yeah, Zack Snyder is a very good visual artist. But he's only about finding scenes. Like, he finds iconic scenes and tries to make every single scene in his movie one of those iconic scenes.
Right.
By iconic scenes, I mean like E.T. and the moon.
Right.
That sort of thing. Or the T-Rex at the end of Jurassic Park. These like iconic scenes that you can pull away from a movie. When it's supposed to be that these scenes are sort of one-offs and like sort of encapsulated and specialty things thrown into the movie, whereas every other scene is dedicated to servicing the storytelling.
Right.
So he brings up the example of, what was it? Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Going to Hawkeye's house lasts for like 15 minutes, which is a long time in an action movie.
Yeah.
But because of that character is set up, the rest of the characters are set up, that's a good like storytelling element, so that when they're fighting on the giant country that's being lifted into the air for some reason, it means something. Like there's something built there with the audience.
Right.
We get who these characters are. They feel real. Whereas in Dawn of Justice, Perry White is in
Lawrence Fishburne,
yes, is in his job in his office for like only 1 minute segments throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So that office, therefore, doesn't feel like a real place. Doesn't feel like he actually works there. It's just a scene. Your illusion is broken by it being so short and it not feeling lived in, and it doesn't work.
Right.
And that makes complete sense to me. I completely agree with that theory of that's why the Zack Snyder movies don't work.
Yeah. So I mean, he's just trying for that big takeaway scene, right? But he's not focusing on the little parts.
He needs more quiet moments, stuff. More personal things, humanity into his movies.
He needs to learn how to make a movie before he starts making movies?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense when I think back on Man of Steel. There was like every scene. I mean, Superman barely spoke in it, and every scene that he was in seemed to be something driving at the plot or his emotions or something. There was never like that moment where it was just like a stillness and like this is us getting to know Henry Cavill's portrayal of this character. It was always just like one big thing after the next. Mm-hmm. Even like when like the big moments in the movie, like it was just one big scene. There was just a series of set pieces, not a snapshot of an event that happened in another universe, which is how I always picture movies. It's just like, this is a snapshot of this thing happening in this universe. And it always just seemed like big thing and then big thing and then big thing.
Right.
And that's why they can be 3 hours long, still feel rushed, and also still feel too long.
Yeah.
Because there's no levity. It's just big, 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 and you're like, when does this gonna end?
Yeah.
And then it ends, and you're like, fuck, it's over already? I feel like there was nothing there.
What
Have
did
you
they
guys
say?
seen the Ultimate Edition?
No, I've actually heard better things about that.
Yeah, people say
Should
that's the
we
intended.
Have a viewing of
Yeah,
that?
let's watch it. Let's watch it.
That seems like everyone has said like that makes it a watchable movie, and some people have said like that's the vision that they were going for, and that it's better. So,
Yeah.
but shit, that's so much movie.
It's a lot of time.
That's a lot of movie.
Lot
It's
of
like
time.
almost half an hour added. That's what they said. It's like half an
40,
hour.
45 minutes?
Yeah, something like
Because
that.
the original ran at 2 hours, 20 minutes?
Yeah, give or take.
Something like that. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want it.
But,
Anyway, so I think we've hit the limit on this bit. So, gentlemen, to recap, this was the McSwagger Zone Amber Ale from the Crooked Can Brewing Company.
brewed and canned in Winter Garden, Florida by Crooked Can Brewing Company Limited Liability Corporation.
A daily source of vitamin B, E, and R in every can.
What'd you guys think of?
Oh, I see what they did.
I see what they did there.
So good. B, E, and R. Oh my God. So clever. This beer sucked for this beer can. No, I'm kidding. What'd you guys think?
It's okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. Wasn't great.
I haven't had like a really like high scoring amber ale in a while. Well, actually, I don't think ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we don't like them that much.
Yeah. Maybe we should just stay away from the
Amber
ales.
ales just feel like a half brewed beer.
Yeah, they're like almost there.
They're almost to like a lager or wherever the hell it's trying to get to.
Greatness
It just
awaits.
doesn't land.
You know, I feel like we don't drink a lot of amber ales or lagers, though.
Yep.
Just period. I feel like we kind of stay away from those because they seem to be the less interesting brews.
Yeah.
You know, like it seems like brewing companies don't try as hard with those. Even like the specialty, like even, man, the name escapes me.
Meise Weise Hefeweizen.
The one in Tampa,
Cigar City.
Cigar City's lager was just a lager.
It was okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like beer.
Yeah. It's,
Right.
it's a crushable beer that you'd have at a cookout or something.
And this, you know, minus the flavor, is the same thing because this just taste wise, I didn't think it was that great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3. Yeah.
Samesies.
Yep.
3.
Here.
All right.
It's not bad. It's all right.
Yeah. I mean, if I saw it in a cooler, I wouldn't be like McSwagger's own.
Gross.
I would grab it and I would drink it because it didn't taste that bad. Couldn't
No.
taste it. This has been the One Baron Podcast. For myself, Marco Dupa, for David God,
What's up?
and for Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Hey.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer and have a beautiful evening.
Crushable.